Hey, this read is for Aries, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's see what the universe has in store for you guys today. Alrighty, universe. So what messages do you have for Aries? You got some guidance, some advice. Let's help them on their path. And I got a couple of cards that want to come out. So I have prosperity begins and hope. Triumph, heartache and loss, and suffering and silence. So I feel like we're moving past some heartbreak. And I feel like the cards are encouraging you to heal and move forward, and that's what the hope and prosperity begins card are speaking to. Healing and moving back towards happiness. I have patience and planning. I have the base chakra, which speaks to either the physical body or money. Emotional loss. The throat chakra, which represents communication. And rejoice in celebration. So I feel like we got a couple different things going on here. I think we're healing from a loss. But at the same time, I think something financial-wise is coming to fruition. And I feel like that's where we're going to be celebrating as well. So I'm going to keep pulling more cards because I want to clarify, especially since I feel like we got a couple different vibes going on with this read so far. So I have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords tends to represent being deadlocked, having trouble making a choice, seeing clarity in a situation. And then I got the Three of Swords, which tends to represent separation. Sometimes with a chance of reconciliation. That is not the vibe that I get here. I get that something has come to an end. But I almost wonder if you weren't the one who made the decision. That's what the Two of Swords speaks to. I have the Star card, and the Star card can represent clarity and or hope. To be, it speaks of clarity. It speaks of clarity in this romantic relationship. I think it helped you make the choice that you needed to make. So I have the King of Wands sitting here. And I don't get a very nice vibe off of him. So I feel like this is speaking to your ex. And I feel like we'll probably get more cards that will reveal more about that relationship. But in leaving, in ending it, I did get the Six of Wands, which represents triumph. So I feel like you did the right thing in leaving. The cards are saying you did the right thing. I have the Justice card here next to the Judgment card. So I feel like this wasn't just a dating relationship. I feel like they're either married or this was common law, because I feel like there's it's a legal separation. You're having to go through legal means to settle things, and I feel like actually that's where the finances are coming in. I feel like that's how it all ties in. Separating from this person and then having to go through the court process to divide assets. I have the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands tends to represent feeling overburdened or overwhelmed. Sometimes it can speak to me of something that's been happening for a long time. I almost feel like this is taking a bit of time, this process in court, being able to walk away. And I feel like that's what's dragging the hurt onto, because you're not, it's like ripping a band-aid off. You're not able to rip it off because this is a process that has to happen over time. So it's like you're doing it slowly and you're feeling every arm hair rip off with it. And so it just hurts again. It hurts new every single time. I do have the Page of Wands here. The Page of Wands tends to herald in good news. So I feel like this is tying into the Justice card with the court proceedings, the Judgment card as well. And the Prosperity Begins and the base chakra. So I feel like there's going to be, financially, there's going to be a good outcome. Obviously, it sucks. It's not what anybody intends when they get married, to wind up divorced. It's not a good thing. Sometimes it's the best thing for everyone involved, but it still doesn't feel good. But I feel like financially, you're going to wind up in a better spot on the other side of all of this. So I have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups can speak to an indifference or sort of being emotionally numb to things. And the Eight of Swords, which represents feeling trapped or stuck in a situation, having a hard time finding clarity, making a choice. And I feel like this was also speaking to your choice to leave. I have the Two of Wands here, which represents choosing a path. So I feel like you were the one who chose. You chose to dissolve this relationship. I have the Knight of Swords here. And I feel like he ties into this as well. I feel like there were truths that had to be uncovered. Things that were hidden. I feel like that's what contributed to your choice and choosing to leave and choosing to end the relationship. I have the Death card here, which again to me affirms that there is no reconciliation. This is a final. This is very final. It tends to represent sort of closing one chapter and starting another in your life. I have the Seven of Cups, which represents a number of options and choosing wisely and weighing your options carefully. I have the Five of Cups, which represents being stuck in negative emotions like hurt and loss, so much so that you can't see positive opportunities around you. I have the Nine of Swords, which is quite similar to the Eight of Swords in being trapped in negative thoughts, depression, anxiety, fear. So I feel like that's what you're working through right now, and especially with this dragging out the way it is, it makes it harder to just move on in a clean way. The Two of Pentacles, she usually speaks of an even balance. So I feel like things are quite out of balance right now, but I'm feeling like this isn't like work and home. A lot of times he speaks to me of that. I feel like this is just in general because everything is so up in the air right now. In terms of who owns what, who's going to get what. You don't want to settle in one way just to have something taken from you. And probably vice versa. So that's what he feels like to me. The words up in the air. You're feeling like things are still up in the air. You're still trapped. You're still stuck. You can't go anywhere because you don't even know what this is going to look like at the end. You don't know maybe if you're going to get the house, the car, the this, the that. You don't know what it's going to wind up being. I have the Empress card, and to me I get a very nurturing vibe off of her. And she speaks of self-care in this, and loving yourself and caring for yourself, and taking some time to care for yourself. This is going to sound really silly, but I feel like going to the spa, or doing something that feeds your soul, maybe going for like a nature walk, something that you love doing that's emotionally fulfilling for you, just to help take your mind off of what's going on, and give yourself a bit of peace and a chance to sort of relax in all of this. I have the Hanging Man here, and the Hanging Man tends to represent, to me, allowing yourself to be hung up in a situation, hung up on an idea, on emotions, preventing yourself from moving forward and staying stuck in one spot. I feel like the High Priestess is saying that, I feel like it's like trust your intuition, and like you know how this is going to work out, and you know what direction you want to move in, when this is all said and done, because things will change for you. But I feel like you already know deep down inside what you want that to look like. I have the Seven of Wands. To me, it speaks of taking control back in your life and taking control of your future. I feel like it ties in with the Seven of Cups here, and having choices and having options. I also have the Wheel of Fortune card, which represents your fortunes changing for the better. And I feel like that speaks of this money that you're going to wind up seeing. So I have the Seven of Swords. It can speak of a situation in which you feel like something was taken from you unfairly. Like you caught the short end of the stick. And then I got the Knight of Wands, and he can sometimes represent relocating. I wonder if you left when all this happened. You chose to remove yourself from the situation, and now that's part of what the courts are deciding. Who's going to wind up with the house. I also have the Nine of Pentacles next to the Knight of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles tends to represent abundance and happiness. But I also got the Ten of Swords. And the Ten of Swords represents a disappointing ending, but something that was beneficial for you in the long run. So I was going to say it, I feel like your ex is going to get the house. But I feel like you're going to get paid out for your half of it. And I feel like that's actually going to benefit you more in the long run than if you wound up with the house. I feel like in the end that's going to give you the abundance that you need to start your new life. So I pulled Harmony, Accelerated Motion, Power, and Wisdom. So I feel like the courts are going to decide quite quickly, and that's what the Accelerated Motion speaks to. You're going to be hearing some decisions quite soon. I think this entire journey is going to give you a new insight, a new wisdom, a new inner strength, a new self-esteem. I feel like it's going to build you up as a person, even though right now it sucks. But I think you're going to wind up finding a new inner peace, a new harmony in your life as well. And just trusting that everything happens for a reason. And that everything works out in the end the way that it's supposed to, and to get you to where you need to go. And I feel like the Ten of Swords speaks to that as well. Trusting that the universe is looking after you, even if you hear something that is not what you thought you wanted. Trusting that it's the thing that's going to benefit you most in the long run. And I believe that you will have time in the near future where you will want to celebrate. You will want to be happy, and you will want to celebrate with friends. And you will celebrate this new start in your life, because I feel like this is a new chapter. with new opportunities for growth in a lot of different areas of your life. Alrighty, guys, that's what the card said to me. I hope you enjoyed the read. Please feel free to comment because I love hearing from you guys. Take care.